Hey folks, it's Marvin Cash, the host of The Articulate Fly. We're back with another Central PA Fishing Report with George Costa of TCO Fly Shop and State College. How you doing, George?
I'm amazing as always, Marv. How are you?
And as always, I'm just trying to stay out of trouble. You've been the traveling Mac recently. Where have you been?
Yes, indeed. I was out west for a little while last week. We went out to Montana. We visited the Sims factory, saw some really cool things there. Got to fish the Yellowstone, the Ruby, a couple other rivers out there. So had a great trip out west. They were having a good season out there. It was super fun.
Yeah, I know it's been hot everywhere. Were there hoot owl closures, or have they been able to kind of miss that a little bit?
No, we didn't have anything out there. There was talk of some of it happening, but we didn't have to deal with any of that. I'm not 100% sure if this week things changed, but last week we didn't have any of that to have to deal with.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. That's actually a little bit unusual, and so we kind of bring it back home, and it's cooled off mercifully. I don't know how much water you've gotten in your neck of the woods, but what are you seeing on the water?
So our temperatures have been good this week. We've had nice cool nights, and temps have been low mid 80s all week, which is what we're looking for this foreseeable future as well. So levels are actually nice. They're seasonably high. Low side for, compared to everything else, but high for this time of year, which is good. So last week they got a good shot of rain while I was away. So the creeks did come up a bit, get blown out a little bit on one day, which was nice because it cleaned out some of the weeds. So this past week, the fishing has been pretty solid. Still seeing trikes in the morning. Terrestrial fishing has been good with beetles and ants. And not an awful lot going on. Otherwise, dry fly fishing, there's sporadic cahills around. I heard somebody said they saw a handful of isos the other day, and caddis are here and there. But terrestrial's really been pretty good. Those small ants, those beetles work really well around here. Streamer fishing has been a little on the slow side with the lower, clear water. But if you want to fish early, fish late, fish in the dark, that's where you're going to move some fish on streamers this time of year. And nymphing's always productive. The usual suspects are going to work well for there. But as far as seasonally goes, temps are good. Water levels are good for, beginning August. Can't complain about that.
Well, there you go. How's your smallmouth bite?
That's been solid from what I've been hearing. The guys are doing well on top water. The Jay has been fishing really well. The West Branch has been fishing well for guys that have been out there, looking for those smallies. Now is the best time of year for them. They're really active, great fishery. Great time to do that this time of year.
Yeah, got it. And got a question for you from Brenner, and he was kind of interested in your thoughts on kind of unconventional colors for streamers and dry flies in the summer and fall, which I think you and I were talking before we started recording. That really kind of translates into, what do you think about attractor patterns and what do you like?
I think that really depends on the fishery. For attractor patterns around here are depending on where you are. Like, let's say Spring Creek, those fish are pretty selective, and this time of year you can maybe get one occasionally fall for like a coachman or a purple parachute or something like that. But those patterns tend to work best, in my opinion, around here locally in PA on like less pressured fish. Like brookies are eager to take anything they see, and they can work on occasion, but consistently. I don't think they're amazing around here in Pennsylvania, especially on our heavily pressured streams. Those fish are just a little more selective. For streamers and going into fall, those, attractor colors, like let's say your yellows and a chartreuse or something like that, I think that really depends on water clarity more than anything else. Off-color water, dirty water, I think those bright attractor colors work better just because fish have limited visibility and they're going to, attack or move on something that just looks like it's invading their space more than anything. As a rule, clearer water, I generally like more natural colors. Dirtier water or water that's full of leaves, that's a good time to use a brighter, more attractor color for a streamer.
Got it. And so, for example, if you were on Spring Creek and, you're saying the fish are selective, hard to dial in, would your kind of change up pitch maybe to be, fish something that they've seen before, but it's actually not coming off to maybe stand out of the crowd, something like that?
As far as an attractor goes, if we're talking dry flies specifically, I never personally have great luck with that. I really think that selective trout are going to eat what they're eating. And not to say you're not occasionally going to fool a dumb fish, but, it consistently, I think you're better off with naturals most of the time on heavily pressured fish. Those fish that are, if you're standing out in a crowd, let's say you're actually in the middle of a good hatch. I rarely would even bother trying to put an attractor on. I would stick with more natural approach. I think in most situations, personally.
Yeah, but I guess what I'm saying is like, let's put the attractor thing to the side. So you want to fish naturals, and let's just say Hatch X is coming off, but you're having a hard time getting them to eat. Would you switch to natural Y that they've seen before to maybe see if that stands out? Like if you got a really heavy hatch or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely pays to switch up and find something that is going to work. And I would try something that would be a little more familiar to them. With maybe a little bit of a twist to give the variation for what they've been looking at.
Yeah, rooster tail or Impala, something like that.
Absolutely, have a stick of pepperoni. Always works in a pinch. As long as you use a circle hook, it's okay.
Yeah, but do you like to hackle your pepperoni steaks?
Absolutely, with only whiting platinums.
There you go. Well, folks, we love questions at the Articulate Fly. You can email them to us. You can DM us on social media, whatever's easiest for you. And if we use your question, I will send you some Articulate Fly swag, and we're going to enter a drawing for something cool from the shop at the end of the season. And George, before I let you go, you want to let folks know location, hours, any special events, and all that kind of good stuff?
Surely. Hours are the same as always, 9 to 6, Monday through Saturday here in State College, 9 to 3 on Sundays. The rest of our stores are open a little later, till 7 o'clock. Check us out on the web at tcoflyfishing.com. Events, not an awful lot going on, but I am doing my hosted trip this coming March. I'm going to go to Andros, Swains Cay in the Bahamas. If anybody wants to go with me, we got spots open. Check out our website on the travel tab. I'd love to have some people get on that trip with me.
Yeah, that's an awesome place. I've been down there before, and Andros is really special because you get that ability to fish kind of both sides of the tide, right?
Yep, absolutely. It's a great location. Looking forward to it.
Well, there you go. Well, listen, folks, you owe it to yourself to get out there and catch a few. Tight lines, everybody. Tight lines, George.
Take it easy, Marv.